to release that person in hopes. And look, I understand the idea of having cooperating witnesses if it means you can nab other people, but generally it goes the opposite direction. Generally, you'll give somebody, immunity if they can help you nab a bigger fish. But Ghislaine Maxwell is the biggest fish that's alive right now. And so doesn't it seem counterintuitive to release that person in hopes of maybe getting somebody below her in this chain?
It's very counterintuitive. There's really no legitimate reason to even consider granting Ghislaine Maxwell clemency at this point in time. And the fact that we've even gotten this far down the path of having a serious discussion about it really just illustrates how dysfunctional the justice system is right now and this current administration is. I want to kind of step back to where this all started. This started when Donald Trump was reelected and installed his personal defense attorneys in high-level positions at the Justice Department. As of January 20, when Donald Trump was inaugurated last year, Ghislaine Maxwell was serving a 20-year prison sentence. She was likely to spend potentially the rest of her life there. She's in her 60s. But suddenly she's in a minimum security prison, and we're talking about the possibility of her getting out from under the prison sentence entirely through clemency because of what Todd Blanche, Donald Trump's personal criminal defense attorney, has been doing behind the scenes. Blanche himself went to the prison where Maxwell was housed in Florida, the prison that houses sex offenders, met with her over the course of 2 days, which is highly unusual, with a new lawyer who stepped in to represent Maxwell, who happens to be a personal friend of Todd Blanche. And after she spent 2 days answering their questions, she was transferred to a minimum security prison camp in Texas, where she has greater privileges and freedom of movement. This is the type of move that only the Deputy Attorney General could have approved, because sex offenders are not allowed to be housed in prison camps in the federal system. So clearly Todd Blanche intervened there. Todd Blanche appears to have intervened to set her up with this lawyer who's a personal friend of Blanche's. And now this lawyer, David Marcus, is aggressively lobbying for clemency on her behalf by appealing personally to Donald Trump and offering the possibility of exonerating him. This looks like a very corrupt transaction that is being put together behind the scenes by Donald Trump's fixer, his personal defense attorney, Todd Blanche, who now just happens to be the Deputy Attorney General, essentially running the day-to-day operations of the Justice Department.
And of course, to watch that interview and all other interviews, the best way to do so is to subscribe to this channel. It is completely free, but a great way to support my work. But by the way, the notion that the fix is in with Todd Blanche is already beyond clear. When Todd Blanche, who I might add was Trump's personal former criminal defense attorney, met with Maxwell months ago, Maxwell publicly came out and said that Trump never did anything concerning around her. And 2 weeks later, lo and behold, she was transferred to a low security prison in Texas, basically club fed. So, I wonder if those two things are connected. Maxwell says that Trump is absolved of all culpability. She gets rewarded with a cushy new home. Nope, can't see any connection whatsoever. Like, I'm sorry, but the quid pro quo could not be more obvious. Actually, I shouldn't say that, because there is one way where it could be more obvious, and that's if Donald Trump publicly refused to rule out the idea of pardoning her. But he wouldn't possibly do that.
Yeah, please.
Mr. President's term today, Mr. President.
Say it.
The Supreme Court is back, and they rejected today an appeal by Ghislaine Maxwell to overturn her conviction. That means her only chance of getting out of prison is a pardon from you. Is that something you're...
Who are we talking about?
Ghislaine Maxwell.
I haven't heard the name in so long. I can say this, that I'd have to take a look at it. I would have to take a look. Did they reject that?
She wanted to appeal her conviction.
And what happened?
They said that they were not going to hear her appeal.
I see. Well, I'll take a look at it. I will speak to the DOJ. I wouldn't consider it or not consider it. I don't know anything about it. So, but I will speak to the DOJ.
Why would she get handed the clemency, sir?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to speak to the DOJ. I'll look at it. I have a lot of people have asked me for pardons. I call him Puff Daddy has asked me for a pardon.
But she was convicted of child sex trafficking.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to have to take a look at it. I'd have to ask DOJ. I didn't know they rejected it. I didn't know she was even asking for it, frankly.
Oh, yeah, Ghislaine Maxwell, man. Blast from the past. I could hardly place that name. Sex trafficker that I was best friends with? That's the one? Thought so. Like, I'm sorry, but what is this game that Trump is playing where he pretends like his association with Jeffrey Epstein and his criminal accomplice, Ghislaine Maxwell, is somehow so difficult to place? Did he know that many pedophiles that they're becoming difficult to sort? Epstein literally called Trump his best friend for a decade. We don't all have to suspend reality here and just pretend that anything he's saying as it relates to Epstein and Maxwell are on the level, because it's clearly not. Every word out of his mouth is an effort to obfuscate the truth. And the truth is that as far as the crimes Epstein and Maxwell committed are concerned, and the subsequent effort to seek accountability for those crimes, Trump is not their opponent. He is clearly their ally. Consider, too, Trump says that he's, quote, looking into it. I'm sorry, but I feel like, but she's convicted of child sex trafficking is all the looking into it that you need to do. What else could possibly serve as a justification to pardon or offer clemency to Ghislaine Maxwell when the crime she committed is selling young girls into sex and then abusing them herself? Like, what, did she also donate to the ASPCA and so that absolves her of her crimes? I mean, honestly, what else could Trump need to know that would possibly serve as a rationale to pardon her? Of course, again, this is all just a pretend exercise since we know exactly why Trump is saying this. Not because there's some legitimate reason to take a look at the intricacies of Maxwell's case, but rather because Trump is a part of the entire cover-up. He is implicated in the Epstein files, and he knows full well that the only living person who could take him down is Ghislaine Maxwell. Therefore, he has a vested interest in currying favor with Maxwell to protect himself. Not rocket science. There's a very, very obvious reason that Trump has always been skittish about releasing the Epstein files.